Gwen Ifill, who had a successful journalism career for just under 40 years, was born on September 22, 1955, in the Queens, New York neighborhood of Jamaica to parents of Barbadian and Panamanian ethnicity. She would spend her childhood in different U.S. states like Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and New York. From a young age, Ifill had developed an interest in news and politics. She would analyze the functionality of her church to get an understanding of the basic mechanisms of politics. Her father served as a minister at the church she attended. After graduating from Classical High School in Springfield, Massachusetts, she would attend Simmons University in Boston, Massachusetts, where she majored in communications, fully intending on pursuing her ambitions of becoming a journalist. While enrolled, she would work for the student newspapers and would do intern work at newspapers in her area. In 1977, she would graduate from Simmons with a Bachelor of Arts degree in communications. Ifill would break ground as a black woman in the field of journalism during the late 1970s and early 1980s, working for the Boston Herald and the Boston Evening Sun. She would eventually take dignified roles as a chief congressional and political correspondent for NBC News and the White House correspondent for the New York Times in the 1990s before her notable role on television screens. In 1999, Ifill joined PBS as a moderator and editing manager for the network news and political program called The Washington Week. She would be the first black woman to host a national political television talk show program. She would work for this program for over a decade. In 2004, she would host the vice presidential candidate national debate between Republican Dick Cheney and Democrat John Edwards. 4 years later, in 2008, she would moderate the vice presidential debate again, this time between Democratic candidate Joe Biden and Republican candidate Sarah Palin. In 2009, she would author and publish a book titled The Breakthrough: Politics and Race in the Age of Obama. In 2013, she became a co-anchor alongside fellow journalists Judy Woodruff on the PBS News program called the PBS NewsHour. Due to her unbiased, neutral, and accurate reporting, Ifill gained a positive reputation and received recognition for her work with multiple awards. This included a Peabody Award. In 1993, she received an honorary doctorate from alma mater, Simmons University. She was also awarded the Leonard Zeidenberg First Amendment Award during her career. Ifill would mentor young and upcoming journalists, serving as an inspiration to many. About a year before her death, Ifill was diagnosed with both endometrial and breast cancer. Endometrial cancer is a type of cancer that forms in the location of the uterus, a female sexual organ. The specific form of her cancer was reportedly an aggressive cancer. In the months before her death, she received treatment for her cancer, which ultimately was unsuccessful at eradicating her cancer. In May 2016, Ifill took a leave of prolonged absence from work due to her debilitating health. On the afternoon of November 14, 2016, Gwen Ifill died at a hospice care facility in Washington, D.C. Surrounded by family, Ifill was 61 years old when she passed away peacefully. Ifill was supposed to receive the John Chancellor Award on behalf of Columbia University 2 days after her death. Many paid tribute to Ifill upon the news of her untimely death, including PBS NewsHour executive producer Sarah Just, who was quoted stating, "So many people in the audience felt that they knew and adored her. She had a tremendous combination of warmth and authority. We will forever miss her terribly." American actress and comedian Bette Midler stated on Twitter about Ifill, "I am mourning the passing of Gwen Ifill, whose commentary and reading of the news I looked to as fair and balanced." But really, other notable political figures and fellow journalists such as Sarah Palin, Paul Ryan, Dan Rather, Chuck Todd, John Dickerson, Donna Brazile, Andrea Mitchell, John Lewis, Wolf Blitzer, Mark Halperin, Brent Baer, Lester Holt, and David Muir posted statements on Twitter about Ifill in light of her death. U.S. President at the time, Barack Obama, stated in a press conference held after Ifill's death that Gwen Ifill was an especially powerful role model who did her country a great service. President Obama was also quoted stating, "She not only informed today's citizens, but she inspired tomorrow's journalists." On November 19, 2016, a funeral service for Ifill was held at Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church in Washington, D.C. Ifill was a longtime member of this church. The service lasted around 3 hours and was attended by thousands of people. This included U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama. Barack Obama could not attend the service as he was in Peru at the time. Also attending were many of her journalist colleagues, politicians, family, and friends. Some of her colleagues who spoke were John Dickerson, host of the CBS program, Face the Nation, who stated that Ifill wore her grace like a garment, her infectious laugh came with a withering scowl. Judy Woodruff spoke at the service, stating, "We didn't look like other anchor pairs, and we love that. Never have we faced tougher challenges, and no one would have risen to them better." Former Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder spoke at the service, reading a letter by President Obama addressed to Ifill. Ifill's younger cousin, Sherilyn Ifill, who was the president of the NAACP's Legal Defense Fund, said words at the service as well, stating that her cousin was the shining star in our family.